Sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, bitte begrüßen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the moderators of tonight, Caroline Matzko. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, wow, I'm so loud. Now we're all awake, I think. This is the Bergson Electronic Dance Retreat. Welcome and applause for them. Everything is better when you have live music. And welcome, everyone, to the Bavarian High-Tech Award 2026. This is the second time that we're having them, and we could almost say in Bavaria that it's a tradition, and also in my opinion, but if this is not enough, then we could see this as, let's say, a beginning to continue this also in the future. And I think that all the people that are here today and that will receive this award, they absolutely deserve this award, and I just want an applause also for our researchers. Is someone of you here for the first time at this award? Okay, then we have to do everything from the beginning. Fine. No, don't worry. It's pretty easy to understand. So we have awards in 3 categories. We have on the one part the graduates for our research, and then from the young talents. That is not actually really the up-and-comers, but then we have the Young Talents Award, and then at the end, before we go in the communities later on, we also have the High-Tech Prize from the Bavarian President Minister. And I think it's an amazing possibility for us to give these awards because it's important to show that many years of hard work and also resilience and hope for the future should be seen and understood. And talking about this, I think you all look amazing from whatever I can see from up here. And I would like to welcome a few people in the audience. Prince Ludwig from Bayern, from the House Wittelbach. Now we have from the Ministry of Research and Technology, Dieter Jung.
Servus.
And then from the Bavarian Landtag, we have the representative from the Committee of Research, Stefanie Schucknicht. Where are you? And then we go to the representative of the General Consulary and also from the Honorary Consulary Uganda, Dr. Wolfgang Wiedmann, and also Dr. Konrad Schuber. Nice to have you here in the audience. And then all the presidents of universities, directory of the presidents, also the leaders of our research institutions, the representatives of research and society, and also all the ones who love this sector, and I think that's you all. And of course, we don't have to forget our nominees, so the award winners and Professor Daniela Bruce. Welcome to Munich. It's so nice to have you here, Ms. Bruce. And as a mother that I am, I also want to say hello to all the children, especially in the first row. It's also so nice to have you here. And we even have 2 years old, and she's in the first row. And I hope your life continues exactly this way. And also a thank you and a welcome to the president of the Bavarian Academy of Research of Science, Markus Schweiger, and also the whole state government here, to the Bavarian President Minister Michael Schröder, because without this person we could not have the high-tech award. So he's not here yet, but he will come later on. So again, welcome everyone. It's very nice to see you, and I hope we will have an amazing evening together. And as I already said, these high-tech awards are also brought together from the Academy and from the State's Ministry for Science and Art, and they put together this award. So that's why I want to welcome the host and actually my co-moderator today, that I can also live this personally is amazing. So let's say hello and welcome Markus Blume. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and dear Karumatsko, and also all the representatives of research, science, innovation, and also for all those who are excited that maybe are not here today, but they asked themselves, where does the party happen tonight? I think it's right here in the residence in Munich. Welcome, really, in this part. I don't know yet if it's a Bavarian tradition. Actually, it's the 3rd time that it becomes a tradition, but I would just say that next year we will do it as well. So it is a tradition, but this is the 2nd award ceremony. Welcome everyone to this view into the future, and also welcome to this party that celebrates research and science. I can see so many people here in the room, not only the ones who are happy to maybe receive an award, but also those who are just here because they're interested in the research and science country and region here in Bavaria. All those who work in institutions and universities, in labs, Some also brought their possibility to be here today, to be part of this event. So I'm really happy to also see all the presidents of the universities and also those who are responsible in institutions. And I also see representatives, for example, President Mr. Kramer, Nobel Award holders should also be here, maybe also in the future could receive such an award. And ladies and gentlemen, this evening is actually an evening that only exists because we in Bavaria and our President Minister are so excited about the possibilities that research and science bring together. 3 thoughts why this even exists and why we should continue. First point is this evening is a party, a way to celebrate for the researchers, for the scientists, and for those who don't have the recognition from yesterday and today, but for those who want to make a difference, for those who are exactly there where they should be and they are researching to make it better and are ready when they were graduating, where they were thinking, where can I do something new, where can I really make change? And that's why we also have a little bit of Stockholm here in our room, because all the big things started small and all the researchers started small, and all of the researchers started with a thesis, with a bachelor thesis. So I am really happy to be here also with the representatives of the Academy of Science. And if I talk about a party, a celebration, I also want to make this clear that this is what should bring together also the researchers and the scientists and make them see that they can follow what they want to do, and that's also part of scientific freedom. We don't know what could come out of research, and that's also good. There's no one in the world that could tell you what could come out of the research, that they already have a whole plan of the future, but to already set measures for the future and to set the base to create and to innovate and to follow their ideas. These are the possibilities and the chances that we want to create in such an event. So thank you very, very much that you are here to also show solidarity for the freedom of science and research. This is really what we need. Thank you very much. Okay, so a celebration for research, but also it's a celebration for development. I also saw it at the bachelor works, at the thesis that I could see outside before coming in, and it was not that difficult to understand everything that was put on paper, because most of it has a very high relevancy in the usage of it, because today it's not known that, or it's not thought that research is immediately implementable, but we can see that some research or some people work in sectors that you can implement directly, and that's exactly what you could see outside, and you could understand exactly how the ideas of the researchers could be implemented. And all the ideas are not separated worlds. So my institution, my world, my data, this is just one big innovation ecosystem, and many people work in it. Also our universities play a very big role in it. We also just had a speech that was really all about startup, for example, also in our government, so in the higher levels, and also the help of the deep tech startups. So half of these startups that work with pretty high technical levels, that really also work with innovation and new ideas and concepts, they actually started in some Bavarian high school or university. So I'm really, really proud to see what we do in our country, and especially in our region in Bavaria, and also to see what we do. And it is important that we look into the future and maybe to ask ourselves, where does this come from? And to not only look at the people who are on a talk show or to people that are more visible, but also to think and listen to the people that think about our future. So again, thank you very much for exactly those people. And just to finish, and third point, this evening is also a celebration for those who further develop our science and research in Bavaria, also for our region that also has a big significance for science. But also thank you to all those who made it possible to have this event. And the start of this event is not that old, so different thoughts and ideas came together. There are so many awards in this country, but for young talents, for young researchers, we don't have anything in Bavaria. And so if we thought about having a high-tech agenda, then we also want high-tech awards. And if we give awards, then we should do that in Bavaria, and it has to be organized well to have up to 250,000 euros of awards. And why this was possible is thanks to the Academy of Science, and also with Professor Rode, that is not only pioneer in his discipline, but is also the one who is funding the award prize. So thank you very, very much to all of you that made this possible and wants to further develop science in our country. Just because I said 3 times that this evening is a celebration, then I'm actually at the end, and I will leave you to it. And I'm really happy to be part of this role as a moderator tonight. It's exciting to see how it will work, and we will also hope that we will not have any incidents. But I would like to ask all the award receivers then on the stage. And I also want to say one last thing. Afterwards, we will also have drinking and eating all together later on. Thank you very much, State Minister. I think here it is nicer because then we don't have the stairs in the picture. Here we already start. Now I'm also a producer here. But no, I was actually thinking what the right name would be for our moderation, because I was thinking, for example, Marianne and Michael, but that the band, Bergson band, has too much aura. Then I thought about Joko and Klaas, but then I think we should have to fight with the comedians about this. So let's just stay with Matzke and Blume. Are you okay with this? Okay, this is good. We're here to talk about growth, and that's exactly what we're doing. Now I have to think about what you're saying, what you just said, but yeah. Yeah, here we have a lot of ideas that will come up in this evening, but let's focus on the prizes, on the awards. It's better. Yes, thank you very much for your speech. I heard a lot about Stockholm and Nobel Prizes, but we're actually starting now with the graduates, right? Yes, and my thesis is actually even a Nobel Prize started from a graduation. So even there you could already see the person, so the men or the women had more potential, and these very early talents, to recognize these was actually the way for us to do this with these awards. So ladies and gentlemen, we will start with the graduates awards.
Ich wollte Ihnen nicht in die Karten gucken.
Nicht spicken bei mir.
Nein, ich spick nicht. Ich wollte wissen, ob Sie genügend Urkunden, wie viel haben Sie denn jetzt da so?
Urkunden habe ich gerade noch.
Nee, die hat der Müller, glaube ich. Der kommt. Aber wie viel haben Sie, mit wie viel haben Sie so gerechnet?
Also ich glaube, wir könnten mehr als 5
I think we can say that we have around 5
Wir müssen pünktlich sein, wenn
5 awards today. So yes, so we have 1 bachelor, 3 masters, and 1 PhD. So yeah, 5 award winners, and I'm really happy to welcome on the stage Shubshan Yoshi, Sarah Lutz, Lutzberger, Maria Nutz, and Dr. Ignatmaitzoye Hatsieva.
Sind wir die zwischen uns? Ah, hier. Mal.
Hier parke ich ja hier.
So.
Das ist your place, genau. Danke. Meine Damen und Herren, Wissenschaft
Ladies
ist
and
wirklich,
gentlemen,
ja,
science
meistens, das hat sie
is
so an sich sehr komplex.
very high complex, and also as a science journalist I sometimes think they talk science, I talk human, so I not always understand, but if you actually get to try to understand more, and also with what they do, then you can actually find out so many interesting things. And I would start with Chopin Joshi from the Technischen Hochschule Würzburg-Schweinfurt, and he all finished their bachelor thesis with a grade A. I wouldn't have to say anything else, so let's say that.
Und Herr Joshi hat sich
And Mr. Joshi actually focused on fundamental problems of the photogrammetry. So that's kind of, photogrammetry is kind of how you can get measurement data from photos. And for him, it's about to really understand what a room layout looks like, that you can do that through a camera that has an RGBD data. And he kind of focuses on the fact that a forklift can just grab the right carton and not something else.
Since my childhood, I always wanted to study robotics, and this was one of the only few universities which had offered bachelors in robotics. In my thesis, I helped the accuracy, the speed, and also the safety of robotic pick and place in logistics environment. Accurately detecting packaging boxes is very important, otherwise the robot might cause safety issues. One strong reason I chose robotics, I want to help improve the lives of disabled people, like I myself have cochlear implants. Currently, I'm working at DLR, that is Deutsches Luft- und Raumfahrt, to make a wheelchair robot with a robotic arm that helps paralyzed people to do daily tasks like eat food. So I really believe that robotics can augment us and improve the lives and the well-beings of the society.
Meine Damen und Herren, ich glaube, jeder
Sehr geehrte
weiß,
Damen und Herren, ich glaube,
Mengen man sich
ladies and
heute
gentlemen, I think that we can all understand how many packages we have and how much, how many things we have to move around, and how this application that he is making could be interesting. But this is not actually the first award that you're receiving. You already received the Best Circular Implementation with the Circular Hackfest. In 2023, you already received that. It's interesting to see everything they do. But you also got a stipendium from the Max Weber. But I think the next step is congratulations, you are winning the award today.
So.
Sehr gut, dann Herr Joshi, dann darf ich Sie ans andere Ende.
Okay, perfect, Mr. Joshi. So I would ask you to go to the other end of the table. And next we have Sarah Lutz from the Julius Maximilian University in Würzburg. And also here she did a master thesis in chemie and grade A, top of the class. Yes, please, let's applaud for this.
Ich finde es gut, weil Sarah hat vorhin gesagt, sie mag es gar nicht
I
so
find
im
this really
Mittelpunkt
interesting because I see that she doesn't really love to be in the spotlight, because also really looks into the work of our cells, so especially things that we cannot really see with our bare eyes. And here.
In der Medizin und biologischen Forschung ist es wichtig, Prozesse, die im Körper und in Zellen auf kleiner Ebene ablaufen, sichtbar zu machen und verstehen zu können. Ich habe mich in meiner Masterarbeit mit der Entwicklung neuer fluoreszenter Bausteine für die DNA und deren Zusammenspiel miteinander beschäftigt. Gerade an dieser Schnittstelle zwischen verschiedenen Fachbereichen ist es oft möglich, neue innovative Lösungsansätze zu finden, die in den einzelnen Bereichen so nicht möglich wären. In Zukunft wollen wir die Erkenntnisse daraus nutzen, um bessere Komponenten für Biosensorik und medizinische Anwendungen zu entwickeln. Die Arbeit in der Forschung zeigt mir immer wieder, dass es eigentlich kein Nachteil ist, Sachen nochmal aus einer anderen Perspektive zu betrachten, sondern oft genau die richtige Lösung.
Liebe Frau Lutz, ich habe das vorhin
Dear
gesehen an Ihrem
Ms.
großen
Lutz,
Poster.
I
Ich
saw it
bin ehrlich,
before
ich
in your
habe nicht jedes
poster.
Detail verstanden,
I
Sie haben es auch
didn't
gemerkt.
understand every
Aber eins
detail,
habe ich
but
mitgenommen.
one
Sie
I
haben Moleküle
understood.
zum Leuchten
You
gebracht, um Menschen
brought
zu heilen.
molecules to
Ich bin
kind
mir
of
sicher,
light up
mit dem
and to
Absolventenpreis
heal
bringen wir jetzt
people. And I
offensichtlich
think
Sie
with this
zum Leuchten.
award,
Jedenfalls
I
herzlichen
hope we're
Glückwunsch
also
zum
bringing
Deutschen
you to light up,
Absolventenpreis
and
2026.
congratulations for the award winning.
Hier ist das Ding.
Ach, ich freue mich so gescheit über alle. Vielen, es ist wirklich so
I'm
schön.
so happy to be here and
ja,
see all of
vermutlich,
this.
Herr
But
Blume,
yeah,
hatten Sie
probably,
Gelegenheit, eigentlich die
Mr. Blume, you had the
Halbzeitshow
possibility
bei
to
der,
watch the halftime show of the
Nee?
World
Echt
Cup.
nicht?
You didn't?
Nee. Habt ihr die
Did
gesehen?
you watch the World Cup
Aber Sie, oder?
halftime?
Nicht. Was ist denn
Someone?
los?
No
Jedenfalls
one?
es
Okay.
hinterließ bei mir sehr viele
Well,
Fragezeichen.
I had a lot of
Das Einzige,
questions
was
about
mir
that, but the
notiert habe
only
als
thing that I
Learning,
realized
gesagt,
as a
ist,
learning
dass die
from
alte
that
These
is that
stimmt, die
the
alte
old
weise
thesis
Shakira
is
jetzt
right.
auch noch
That's
mal
also
50
Shakira
Jahre
taught
vor mir
us,
Hüften
and that
lügen,
hips don't
Hips don't
lie.
meine Damen und Herren. Und ich möchte Ihnen mitgeben,
Das war jetzt aber eine steile Anmoderation.
Wow, this
Ja,
was a
weil
really
das
cool
geht
moderation, I
auch
have
für
to say. Yeah, but
Hüftprothesen, Herr
because
Blume.
this is also applicable to hips
deswegen
prosthesis.
machen Es gilt auch für Hüftprothesen.
And
und
this
umso
also
relevanter ist
is
die
important for
Masterarbeit
hips
von
prosthesis, and the
Jan
most important is the
Schulze,
master
von
work
Jan
from Jan
Würzelberger
Würzelberger from
sorgt
University
dafür, dass man
Coburg,
frühzeitig
and
ohne einen
Jan
operativen Eingriff
tries,
erkennen kann, ob
makes it possible to
Prothese
understand
noch
if a
sitzt.
hip prosthesis is still attached.
Für ein Studium hier in Bayern habe ich mich entschieden, weil ich nur hier die Möglichkeit hatte, ein Studium zwischen oder an der Schnittstelle von naturwissenschaftlicher Grundlage und ingenieurswissenschaftlicher Anwendung zu absolvieren. In Deutschland gibt es über 250.000 Hüftprothesen-Implantationen pro Jahr und all diese implantierten Prothesen müssen danach regelmäßig kontrolliert werden. Das macht man klassischerweise mit Röntgen, das ist mit Strahlung verbunden, es ist kostenintensiv und man sieht gerade im Frühstadium von Komplikationen wie einer Lockerung nicht so wirklich genau, was da eigentlich passiert. Da setzt meine Arbeit an. Meine Arbeit will nämlich Ultraschalldiagnostik erstmals genau dafür nutzbar machen. Bisher kann Ultraschall nicht in den Knochen sehen. An der Knochenoberfläche ist eigentlich Schluss. Mithilfe neuer, innovativer Signalverarbeitungsalgorithmen, die ich in meiner Masterarbeit entwickelt habe, gelingt es erstmals auch, das Knocheninnere aufzulösen und zu sehen, ob die Prothese im Knochen festsitzt.
Lieber Herr Lutzelberger, auch Sie brillante Abschlussarbeit.
Dear
mit
Mr.
einem
Lutzelberger,
Thema mit
also you were
offensichtlicher
an
Anwendungsrelevanz.
amazing
Was
topic
mich
that
bei
you
Ihnen
worked
besonders
on,
imponiert, und
what
das ist
I
ja auch
actually
so ein
found
Muster,
really
was sich
interesting,
zieht,
and
dass
that's
wir
also
besonders
kind of
begabte
a
Menschen nicht nur in
thing that
ihrem
I
Fach
really
gut sind,
find
sondern immer auch
interesting.
noch Zeit finden
People
für
that
dies und
not
das. Bei
only
Ihnen, Sie haben eine
are good
Verdienstmedaille
in
für
their
ehrenamtliches Engagement der Hochschule Coburg
sector, but you also
bekommen,
got a
weil
medal
Sie
in
offensichtlich
the
nicht nur
University
Herz
of
für
Coburg,
Hüften, sondern auch
because you
Herz für
don't only
Kommilitonen
have
haben.
interest in
Und da
hips,
würde
but
ich sagen,
also
gibt's
for
erst
your
einen extra Applaus, aber jetzt
university
vor allem den Applaus für den
companions.
Bayerischen
But
Absolventenpreis
let's give a big
2026.
applause
Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
for the award 2026.
Thank you.
Ja, und das Tolle ist, dass
Okay, and the
jetzt auch noch
amazing
weiter
thing here
betreibt in
is
seiner
that
Doktorarbeit.
he actually
Das heißt, die Reise
continues
geht
in his
weiter und wer
doctorate
weiß, ob wir uns
in
noch
this
mal
sector.
sehen.
So let's see if we
Und
see
was
you
man noch
again
alles so
and what we
ersetzen
will
kann.
also
Ich bin jetzt 47, ich
find
komme
out
auf
in the
Sie
future.
zurück.
I'm
Jetzt sind wir
47
aber
now,
erstmal
we'll
bei
maybe come
Maria
back to you.
Nutz,
But
Master
let's
of
now go to
Engineering,
Maria
Ladies
Nutz,
and
Master of
Gentlemen, von der
Engineering
Technischen Hochschule zu
from the
Nürnberg.
Technische Hochschule
Die hat eine
Nürnberg,
Masterarbeit
and
gemacht
she did a
über- jetzt muss ich wirklich
master
ablesen.
thesis
Relevante Typ- und
about
Stückprüfungen für ein
unit
hochspannendes
and type
Gleichstromübertragungssystem
of a high voltage direct
Leistungsschalter
current
konzipiert,
transmission
getestet
system
und in
circuit
Betrieb
breaker,
genommen. This is
and she
science.
had a
Human
concept
übersetzt,
and
Maria
she
sorgt
tested
dafür,
it
dass
and
unsere
commissioned
Netze
it. So she
stabiler
actually
sind und
sees
Deutschland
that
weniger
our
abhängig.
electronic
Hier kommt
power
der Film.
grids are stable with no blackouts.
Die zunehmende Abhängigkeit von elektrischer Energie in modernen Gesellschaften macht es wichtig, dass unser Stromnetz stabil und zuverlässig funktioniert. In meiner Masterarbeit habe ich eine Prüfschaltung für Gleichstromleistungsschalter entwickelt. Prüfungen sind wichtig, um die Funktionalität dieser Leistungsschalter, also der Schutzeinrichtungen im Stromnetz sicherzustellen. Meine Aufgabe war es, die Prüfparameter bereitzustellen, mit der die Qualität von so einem Leistungsschalter abgeprüft werden kann. Die Arbeit habe ich in Zusammenarbeit mit Siemens Energy geschrieben. Ich finde, dass man im Team eigentlich immer innovativer und kreativer arbeiten kann. Und das hat eigentlich so diese Zusammenarbeit mit dem Unternehmen und der Hochschule gefördert.
Liebe Frau Nutz, Ihnen darf ich attestieren, dass Ihr Thema auch
Dear
politisch
Ms.
höchste
Nutz, I
Relevanz
think
hat.
your
Also
topic
quasi
has
keine
also
Chance
very
für
high
Blackouts.
political relevance,
Sie
so
sehen
no
das ein Versprechen, was
chance
mit Ihren Schaltern
for
einhergeht.
blackouts is
Auch bei
also
Ihnen
very important. And
beeindruckt
also for
uns,
you,
dass
what
Sie
is
nicht
very
nur offensichtlich
interesting is that you
Vollblutakademikerin
don't
sind,
only
sondern
are
dass Sie auch ein
an
Herz für
academic, but
andere
you
haben.
also
Bei
have
Ihnen ist es die
heart and
Schnittstelle
passion
Schüler
for
und
others, so
Studierende
that's especially
mit einem
for
eigenen
those who
Stipendienprogramm.
study,
Auch dafür sind Sie
also
schon
for a
ausgezeichnet
whole
worden, über alle Schularten
funding
hinweg.
program
Das
in
ist
many
der eine Teil des
different
Applauses, aber
schooling
wie gesagt,
sectors,
der andere
and
natürlich
that's
jetzt
one
für den
part of the applause, but
Absolventenpreis
here again for the
2026.
award 2026.
Und ein Siegerlächeln.
Sehr gut. Und jetzt, das waren die Masterarbeiten, meine Damen und Herren. Und jetzt
And
kommen
these
wir
were
zum
the master
nächsten,
works and
Absolventenpreis.
thesis, and we will now go to the next award, and that's about a dissertation. And this is from Zoe Hatzeba from the Friedrich-Alexander-Universität Erlangen-Nürnberg. She has a very complex topic, and that's the electrophoretic deposition of bioactive antibacterial chain-based coatings and titanium for biomedical applications. And who doesn't know it, but she actually focuses that our implants don't have any infections when they're inserted in our body. For my doctoral thesis, I focused on the coating of metallic implants for biomedical applications, and this can help implants heal better and allow people to move freely. I've worked in a wide variety of countries, that it's precisely this experience that has helped me grow personally as well. The idea that coating just a few micrometers thick, so that is barely visible to the human eye, can make such a big difference is what fascinates me most about my research. The way material science and medicine come together to improve quality of life. I actually came to Germany for my studies, and Bavaria was a place where I could develop not only professionally, but also personally.
Liebe Frau Hatschewa, wir haben das auch bei den anderen zum Teil
Here
schon gehört.
in
Und ich denke,
Hatscheva,
das
we
ist
also heard it
insbesondere-
for the others, but I think
bei Ihnen,
this is
dass Sie
especially
sich
for
an der
you that
Schnittstelle von verschiedenen
you
Disziplinen
are really at the
bewegen. Und das
interface
ist ja
of
die These,
different
dass die spannendsten
disciplines, and I think
Entwicklungen
that's
dort
a thesis that is
passieren, wo
very
sich Disziplinen
interesting
berühren.
to
In
see
Ihrem
where
Fall
different disciplines come
Materialwissenschaft
together.
und
For you, it's also
Medizin
material
und
science
Sie
and
haben richtig
medicine.
genommen,
That's
Sie
what I
sind,
kind of
ein
understood
echtes
of it, and
Beschichtungstalent
you are
mit
really kind of a
Wertstoffen oder mit
talent
Dingen,
for
die
this
eigentlich die Natur
coverage
für uns
of
bereithält. Und dafür, meine Damen
materials
und
and
Herren,
what
ist
the
klar,
nature
gibt's
gives us,
den
and
Bayerischen Absolventenpreis
for this
2026.
you
Herzlichen
received
Glückwunsch.
the award 2026.
Sein eignet sich auch hervorragend, um für ein Fotolächeln zu sorgen.
Yes, I would say that now we take a
Sie haben gar nicht gefragt, gell?
picture. You actually
Ja, ich
didn't
Wissen gar nicht, was
ask.
Sein ist, oder?
You don't even know what Sein is, or
Ich habe gerade nochmal nachgelesen. Ja?
I actually read it.
sind
Aber
Speicherproteine
also wenn Sie mich jetzt
Mais.
herausfordern, dann sage ich, liebe Frau Matzke, jetzt will ich es nochmal
It
ganz
is a
genau wissen, was Sie
protein
eigentlich
coming
gemacht
from,
haben. Ja?
Ein
from
Speicherprotein aus Mais,
mice.
das als biokompatible Trägermatrix dient, das weiß man
And
doch.
that
Dass es auch
this is
Sein
something you should know
ausgesprochen
what
wird.
Sein
Nicht
is.
Zein, man sagt ja auch
And that you
nicht
don't say
Mais.
Zein, because you also don't say
Ich wusste
mais,
es
but
überhaupt
it's
nicht.
Zain
Der
and
Jeva hat
not
gesagt, das heißt
mice.
Sein, nicht Zein.
So yeah,
Insofern
she
großen
actually told me.
Applaus
So
noch
again, a big
für
applause
Nachwuchs
for
für
our
unsere
award
Absolventinnen und
winners.
Absolventen.
Ja, Amelie.
Nochmal ein Gruppenfoto.
Let's make a group picture.
Noch ein bisschen, ja.
So, das waren doch
All
jetzt schon mal
right.
wunderbar zum
So
Warm-up,
this
meine
was
Damen und Herren.
actually
Ist Ihnen nicht auch
amazing
so
for the
heiß oder ist
warm-up.
es mein
Is it
Alter?
also, are you also hot, or is it
ist
just
nicht
my
schon heiß,
age?
gell?
You don't really
Ja.
know.
Herr Blume,
But yeah, Mr.
wir haben
Blume.
gerade jetzt die wunderbaren
We
Absolventinnen
now
und
had our
Absolventen
graduates,
gekrönt. Jetzt
and
kommen
we
wir zum
awarded them.
sogenannten
And now we
Nachwuchspreis.
actually go to the
Und ich
Up
finde
and
das
Comers
sprachlich ein
Prize, and I
bisschen
think
schwierig, weil
it's
Nachwuchs,
I find it a bit
das klingt fast
interesting,
niedlich
the wording,
angesichts
because
dessen, was diese
Up and
wunderbaren
Comers
Forscherinnen und
actually
Forscher
sounds a bit
schon für einen
cute
langen
compared to
Karriereweg
what they
zurückgelegt
actually
haben.
did
Warum
from the
Nachwuchs?
career that they already have.
Bei
Well,
Nachwuchs, ich bin ganz ehrlich,
why?
bin ich in der Vergangenheit auch schon
I think
gestolpert.
with the
Man denkt sich, das ist halt
word
der erste
Up and
Schritt.
Comers,
In der
you
Wissenschaft
think
ist es ein
this is
bisschen
actually the
anders.
first
Deswegen,
step, but it is
wie
very
alles in der
different
Frage,
in
in der
science.
Wissenschaft eine Frage der
It
Definition,
is
habe ich
all
vorhin
the
mal nachgeschaut. Du
question
bist gerne
of
auf den
definitions, so I
Wissenschaftsrat.
would like to
Es geht hier abgeschlossene
tell you
Promotionen,
definitions. So these are
Postdoc-Phase
promotions,
bis
so
7 Jahre nach Abschluss
postdoc
der Promotion
phases and
und keine
7
unbefristete
years after the
wissenschaftliche Stelle.
doctorate.
Also kurz zusammengefasst, so
So
eine Art
just to
wissenschaftliche
kind of say
Wanderjahre
it
nach
is
der
a few
Promotion.
years
Ja,
of
das klingt irgendwie ganz schön anstrengend.
yeah, of research path
Nachwuchs ist man bei uns in unserer
after
Zunft
a
eigentlich ganz
doctorate.
lange und
So
dann wird man zum
for
Geheimtipp
us,
und dann
an
zur Legende.
up and comers is for
Und dann war's
many
das schon wieder mit der
many
Karriere
years, and then you
im
actually
Fernsehen.
become
Naja, wir weiter
a very
wandern
important
jetzt mal weiter,
person. But
Fluss im
yeah, okay,
Regieplan.
interesting
Meine
to
Damen
know.
und
But
Herren, und
let's
die Band macht
continue,
sich bereit.
dear
Wir kommen
ladies and
jetzt nämlich im
gentlemen. We
Rahmen
will
der
now
Hightech-Preise Bayern
pass to the
2026
High-Tech Awards, to
Nachwuchspreis.
the Up and Comers Prize.
Sollte es nicht irgendwo länger mal Musik auch geben?
Ja, dann sagen wir denen, wir sollen noch.
Macht nichts.
Sehr schön. Knackig. Bitte noch mal einen kleinen Zwischenapplaus für
Very
die
nice. Thank
Bergson
you again.
Electronic
Please, an
Dance
applause
Technik.
for
Das
our band tonight.
Danke. Bergson, so eine coole Einrichtung. Also für
Such a
diesen Preis, für den
Cool
Nachwuchspreis.
music.
machen
But
wir
yeah,
es
for
ein
this
bisschen
prize, for this
anders.
new
Jetzt
talent
der Oscar
prize, we will
Moment
do it a
heute
little
Abend,
bit
ja.
more, a bit different. This is kind of the Oscars.
Es sind 3 Menschen
We have
nominiert,
3
die
people
an ganz
that are nominated that
unterschiedlichen
work
Dingen
on very
forschen.
different sectors. We have
digitale
quantum
Umwandlung,
computers, digital
Transformation
transformation,
von
and
Unternehmen
also the
und
transformation of
neuartige
companies and the
Halbleitermaterialien.
innovative
Und nominiert
semiconductor
für diesen
materials.
großartigen
And
Preis sind im Jahre
nominees
2026
for the year
Dr. Lukas
2026, we
Burkholzer
have
von
Dr.
der
Lukas
Technischen
Burkholzer of the
Universität
Technische
München,
Universität
Professorin
München,
Dr. Anna-Maria Oberlein von der
Miss Professor
Universität
Dr. Anna Maria Oberleuden
Dr.
von University
Saskia
Bayreuth
Schimmel
and
von der
Dr. Saskia Schimmel
Friedrich-Alexander-Universität
from the
Erlangen-Nürnberg.
Friedrich-Alexander
Und was die
University
arbeiten,
Erlangen-Nürnberg.
alle 3 forschen,
And
ein
all
spannender Moment, wo man liegt, könnte das
all
was
3 of
werden,
them,
das ist eine
they
super technische
research
Möglichkeit.
on technological possibilities, but I will not really stand here and be able to explain what they do, but we have something prepared for you. Quantum computing is one of the revolutionary technology for the future. We had a lot of steps forward in the hardware, but the hardware is just a part of this. We also need softwares to bring this to success, and that's exactly where my research implements there. I create softwares for quantum computers, so to have scalable, efficient softwares that you can implement on the computers. And what I really love about my work is I can work when, where, and wherever, in Munich, at home, on the bus, on the train. For me, it's always important that research does not only stay on paper, but is only be implemented. That's why I create open software, so that also other people can use it. And so, for example, the toolkit that I created is worldwide usable, and especially in the quantum computers world it is important to also know that the experts are close to you and here for you, and also through this work, it's also important to show what we have here in Munich, where we also eliminate the gap that there is between the software and the ideas that there exist. And the big vision is to make the quantum computers so accessible that everyone can use it every single day in their day-to-day life, on their computers, on their phones, and everywhere they want. My ambition is to kind of understand the digital transformation and to also bring something to the people and to create a life that is more sustainable. And I do it in two ways. I'm a professor for science, economic informatics, and also in other sectors. And I focus on the twin transformation, so the connection between digitalization and sustainability, and to also make a company more innovative and efficient. And this second focus topic is to focus on the digital transformation and the open management for the people, so to make it possible that the state can bring digitalization and the population closer together, to also ensure the number of population, and to kind of create these bridges. That is what I love to do, between people and technology, and between the state and the people who live in that state. So I really hope a society and where we can understand how to get these chances and how to work together on these chances, and to see that these are very important for the future, and to kind of create really a proper transformation and understand this transformation, especially implemented on the European values. And I want to be kind of an image as a woman in science, with also a family and children. And with trends like digitalization, electrification, and also AI, I think there is a lot of need for energy efficient semiconductor materials. And here we have some materials that we can use, for example, in the thermal sector. That's what we focus on and we can create. And for the society, from my research, you can create working elements that are more efficient from the energy point of view. And from my research, what is really important is to have also laboratories inside of universities that can make it possible to create these products and all these components that are very important for the efficiency of processes, and to have these labs close to home. And a very important aspect of my research is also the accessibility to this process, and also the combination with also the numerical modeling, and also to understand better the chemical and physical processes, to understand them properly, and to also further develop these processes. And in this combination, this is what we're doing, and we're working also with materials that are only available in our team. And I really see a big chance to implement this in our society, and to also do something good.
Es ist so ein bisschen ein Oscar-Moment und ich kann
This
das
is a little bit of an
überhaupt
Oscar
nicht.
moment.
Ich habe immer das Gefühl, ich will ja, dass immer alle gewinnen.
I always want that everyone wins. So what can we do? Can't we just change the rules?
Das ist ein bisschen schwierig.
Das ist heute ein bisschen
I think
schwierig.
it's a
Aber
little
ich habe
bit
jetzt auch kein flaues Gefühl. Ich
difficult.
habe gerade gesagt, eigentlich ist es irgendwie blöd, dass wir nur einen
Now it's just said it's maybe stupid that we just give one award, because
froh, dass ich nicht Jury war.
at least for me, I'm happy that I wasn't part of the jury, because
Gut,
yeah, they
Herr
were
Müller
also
hat den
interesting.
Umschlag,
But
dann,
yeah,
wir ziehen das jetzt
Mr.
durch.
Müller has the envelope.
Herr Müller, ohne Herrn Müller wären wir aufgeschmissen. Ich habe schon gesagt, ich brauche Herrn Müller für mein ganzes Leben.
Yeah, I said I actually need a Mr. Müller
danke,
for my
das
whole
ist gut.
life.
Das ist
Yeah,
to set the
this
mood.
music to set the mood is
Danke,
perfect. Thank you very
Dance
much.
Retreat.
Soll ich schon?
Ja, ziehen Sie es durch.
Should I go? Yeah, just do it.
Dr. Lukas
Dr. Lukas Burgholzer.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Congratulations.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Da gibt es einen richtigen Pott oder
Now we have a
schickes Ding, ein schickes Ding.
proper award
Den
here. Looks really
Nachwuchspreis
nice. So yeah,
bei den
this is a
Hightech-Preisen
Young Talent
2026.
Award at the
Herzlichen
High-Tech Award 2026. Congratulations.
Wie fühlt sich das an?
How are you
Ich hab
feeling?
das Mikro. Sie
I
wirken
have the
so
microphone. You feel so
einigermaßen.
relaxed.
Schade.
Nee,
I
ich
don't
muss
give
ja
you the
manchmal die Möglichkeit
microphone.
haben, Sachen
I just have the
abzukürzen.
possibility
Interview mit
to
Politikern.
shorten, for example, interviews or
Gut, dass
so.
ich kein
So,
Politiker bin.
okay,
Da
good
haben
that
wir
I'm not a
Glück gehabt, Herr
politician.
Buchholz, aber Sie
Yeah.
sind, haben Sie
But
gar nicht mehr, man
Mr.
merkt,
Burkhardt,
Sie
I can
sind
also hear it a bit.
Österreicher.
You come
Sie
from
haben in Linz
Austria,
Mathe
right?
und
You actually
Informatik
studied
studiert und
mathematics and
sind dann
informatics
nach
in
München
Linz, and then you
gekommen.
came
Was hat
to
München, was hat Bayern
Munich.
richtig gemacht, dass wir sie für uns
What
gewinnen
did
konnten?
Bavaria do for you that you decided to come here? Well, I think there is a lot of research and a lot of also support and fundings for the research and also initiatives I'm really happy to be part
Genau
of.
diese Initiative
And
ist
exactly
auch
this
den
initiative,
Fan-Badge
we
hier,
also
das
have the
Munich
fan
Quantum
badge
Valley.
here for the
Vielleicht
Munich
könnten Sie, Herr
Quantum
Blume, noch mal
Valley. Maybe
genau
Mr.
illustrieren,
Blume, you
was
could
das für
also
ein Biotop ist.
Also das
tell
Munich
what it
Quantum
is. So
Valley
the
ist
Munich
tatsächlich
Quantum Valley
das
is actually
heißeste, was wir in
the
Deutschland im
hottest
Bereich
thing
der
that we have in
Quantenwissenschaften haben.
Germany
Mal alle die Hand hoch, die
in
in dem
the
MQV
area of
irgendwas mit zu
quantum
tun haben.
science. Someone has to do
einige.
with it.
Und Sie stimmen mir wahrscheinlich zu, dass es das heißeste ist.
Yeah, you
und
can
ehrlicherweise
also
auch
say, yeah,
das Beste, weil
that's
es
true.
halt
It is
dann immer so
the
ist.
best.
Und das Besondere, sage ich mal, aus
But also, what is
wissenschaftlicher Sicht,
interesting
das
from
ist
the
genauso ein Beispiel von
science political point of view, it is very an
Nicht
example of
die
an
eine Uni
innovation
hier, die andere
ecosystem.
Uni
So
dort
not
und
one
man redet nicht
university
miteinander,
here,
dann
one
gibt's auch noch
university
Max
there, no
Planck,
one
Herr Kramer
talks
und irgendwie
with
noch
each other,
andere
and
und,
Max
irgendwo
Planck
noch
and
da
another
draußen
university
Unternehmen
and some
und
other
Startups,
institution and a
sondern
startup.
das ist ein
But this is an
Innovationsökosystem,
amazing
wo alle
innovation
mit
ecosystem where
allen an
everyone
dieser
is
Mission
working
des
together, working
Quantencomputers
at this
arbeiten,
mission
oder?
of quantum computers.
Würde ich auch so sagen.
Yes, that's
Richtige
exactly how I would
Antwort,
describe
ja.
it. Yeah, perfect. That was the right answer.
Sie entwickeln
Yeah,
ja auch
5 euros for
Software,
you.
mit der
But
Quantencomputer
you also
wirklich
create
nutzbar
softwares
gemacht
that can
werden sollen.
actually
Ich denke jetzt
should
mal in die
be
Zukunft und plane,
implemented. So if we think about the
was
future,
sollte dann
what
besser werden? Was
should
möchten Sie,
become
wenn wir
better?
uns
What,
wieder treffen und sprechen,
if we
was
meet
Ihre
again
Arbeit
in 10
verändert hat,
years,
das
what
wäre
can you
Ziel.
say you can
Also ich
see that
hoffe
your
mal, dass
work changed
Quantencomputer
something?
wirklich in
Well,
unserem
I
Alltag
hope the quantum
angekommen sind
computers
und
become
einen
part of our
tatsächlichen
day-to-day
Nutzen haben
lives
für
and they
Ja,
actually
meinen Sie
have a
doch mal
usage
ein
for
Bild, wie das dann konkret
our
aussieht,
lives. But give us an
probieren Sie
image
zu sehen. Ich
because
möchte das schon wissen
just
jetzt.
giving me a
Also ich
sentence
hätte gerne, dass
here
meine
is not
Software
enough. I really hope that my
Quantencomputer
software
betreibt und die Welt
kind of
voranbringt. Was kann
is
das
the
dann?
base for quantum computers
wir sehen.
and helps us. But what will it be able to do? We will
So
see.
genau weiß es doch keiner.
We don't really know.
Politiker werden.
He
ja.
could also become a politician, actually.
Das heißt, aber was wünschen Sie ihm denn,
But what
wenn wir uns in 10 Jahren
do
wiedersehen?
you hope
Nein,
for him
also,
if we
es
see
hat
each
ja
other
einen
again in
Grund,
10
warum wir
years?
das
It
als
actually
Bavarian
has a
sagen,
reason why
kleiner
we say in Bavaria
wir unterstützen
we
dieses
support this
für eine
Munich
Periode
Quantum
von
Valley
5
for a period
Jahren
of
mit
5
300
years
Millionen
with
Euro,
300
vom
million
Wissenschaftler,
euros.
150
So
vom
we have 150
Wirtschaftsministerium
from
und
the
wir haben abgeschlossen, wir
Science
machen
Ministry,
weiter.
but
Also
we
300
actually
Millionen
decided
Euro,
to
wenn man sagt,
continue.
wissen wir
So
jetzt auch nicht
to
genau,
do 300 million
jedenfalls
euros,
vage.
even if we don't really
Und
know what
ich
will
würde
happen,
sagen,
but
das
we
Rennen den Quantencomputer ist eines der
this
spannendsten
focusing
Rennen,
on
das
this
es in der
quantum
Welt gerade gibt.
computing
Das
is
ist so eines
really
der Fälle, wo man sagt,
interesting. It is
da-
one of
da
these
müssen
sectors
wir
that
dabei sein.
we
Da geht's
have
um
to
den
be part of
Wohlstand
this
von
world.
morgen.
We have to be
Aber
part of
eines
this
würde ich Sie jetzt
sector,
schon bitten, denn für
and
nichts gibt es den Preis auch nicht.
that's why we have these
versuche
awards.
in
And
wenigen
we really
verständlichen
want that
Worten mal zu erklären,
for you
was
to explain to
unterscheidet
us in a
einen
few words to
Quantencomputer
make us
von dem,
understand
was
what
wir
a
in der
quantum
heutigen
computer
Computerwelt
is and
haben.
what we actually know
Aber
in the
schlussendlich
today
rechnet der
word.
Quantencomputer halt
So the
nicht
quantum
mit
computer
0 und 1, so wie
doesn't
klassische
work with
Computer, sondern
zeros
mit
and
der
ones,
Quantenmechanik
but
und sogenannten
it
Qubits.
focuses
Und
on
damit verspricht man
qubits,
sich manche schwere
and
Probleme
there
deutlich
you
effizienter zu
have
lösen.
more efficiency,
klassische
so
Computer, das
more
jeweils
efficient solutions as a
Kommen Sie
normal
eigentlich aus
computer.
Linz?
Do
Ich
you
komme aus
actually
Linz,
come
ja.
from
Das ist
Linz?
schön,
Okay,
weil Sie
that's
können
nice
Ihre Family
because
teilen.
with
Ich
your
habe
family
heute
you
auch
can
meinen
actually
Geburtstag gehabt,
celebrate
habe Ihnen was mitgebracht.
because
Das war
actually
Gutschein
brought
von
something for you.
Leberkasperli.
This is
Ich lege noch eins drauf, bitteschön.
a present for you and your family that you can
Kennen Sie nicht die
use
Leberkasperli?
for
Vegetarier
Leberkas.
Oder?
Auf jeden Fall.
Ich hoffe nicht, dass Sie Veganer sind.
I hope you're not
Es
vegan,
gibt auch
but
veganen Leberkäse mittlerweile dort.
Es gibt
but
auch
we also
veganen
have
Leberkäse,
vegan
ja.
Leberkäse, so
Dann,
this is a
wünsche ich
typical
Ihnen viel Erfolg,
Bavarian
viel
type
Spaß
of
beim
meat.
Essen.
But yeah, congratulations again, and also to the other nominees on the shortlist. I'm really, really, really sad that we couldn't award you as well. Please continue doing what you're doing, and we will try to arrange to also have a golden Leberkäse, so this typical meat also for you.
Ich sag noch was. Ich muss jetzt die Chance gerade nutzen.
I also have to use this moment as the finance minister is not in the room. But maybe for the new talent prize, we also have to give a second and third prize, because it's really sad to have to choose.
Ja, wirklich sehr.
Schau mal zu
Yeah,
den
that's
Ministerialen.
really, really sad.
Ja, ducken sich weg gerade. Ja. Aber vielleicht reicht die Kraft, es zu machen. Ich
Yeah,
glaube
but
schon.
maybe we will be able to do that. Maybe you can also talk to a few people, but I would say that we are going towards the high-tech prize from the President Ministry. But I think we need a little bit of a relaxing break. So we would say that we can get a little bit of music. So please, back to electronic dance. Let's start with the swag.
Also ich muss jetzt schon sagen, ich bin ein bisschen verwundert, wie
Well,
Sie
I
bei der
actually have
Musik
to
so
say,
ruhig
as you,
nachsitzen können.
how you can be so
Hat
quiet
irgendjemand
with the
gezuckt
music. Did
wenigstens?
someone move
Bitte einen
an
richtigen
arm or
Applaus.
something? Please, let's
Danke
give her
euch
proper
für diese
applause
tolle Kapelle.
for this
Electronic
amazing
Dance
band,
Retreat.
Electronic Dance Retreat.
Meine Damen und Herren, wir kommen jetzt zum
Ladies and gentlemen, we now go to the
wunderbaren
main
Abends,
award
nämlich
of
zum
this
Hightech-Preis
amazing
des Bayerischen
event, the
Ministerpräsidenten.
High-Tech Prize of
Jetzt
the
müsst ihr
Bavarian
pushen.
Minister President.
Irgendwas.
Now you have to do a boo-boo.
Sehr gut, vielen herzlichen Dank.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Also ich finde es sehr schön,
I find it really,
wenn
really
Menschen
interesting
mit dem
when
Erfolg
people
haben, wofür sie
have
brennen
success
und wofür sie
for
über
the
viele
things that
Jahre
they
auch
really
hart
love
arbeiten.
and for the things that
Ich
they
find's
really
aber
worked
noch
hard on.
schöner,
But I also
wenn
really
diese Menschen nicht
love
vergessen,
to see when
woher
these
sie
people
kommen
don't forget where
und
they
dass
actually
man
come from,
theoretisch
and
etwas
that
zurückgeben
theoretically
kann,
they can also
das
give
von dem,
something
was man
back
selbst erfahren und
from
geschaffen
the
hat. Denn
things that
Fortschritt
they
entsteht nicht
lived
durch eine gute
and
Idee,
experienced,
sondern
because
Fortschritt entsteht auch
progress
dadurch, dass
doesn't only
jemand
come from a good
anderen
idea, but
eine Chance
also
gibt,
to give
dass diese
others
Idee
the possibility
wächst
or
und
the
gedeiht.
chance
Und
to,
so jemand ist
to also have
Professor
this idea
Ulrich
grown.
Rode. Er
So
ist Wissenschaftler,
here we have the
Unternehmer
Professor
und
Ulrich
Pionier der
Rode. He is a
Hochfrequenz- und
scientist,
Mikrowellentechnik
entrepreneur, and
Rode.
pioneer
Und er
of
ist
high
nebenbei
frequency
leidenschaftlicher
and micro
Funkamateur. Das heißt, er
waves
weiß aus
technology,
erster
but he's also an
Hand, dass
amateur
ein
of radio
starkes Signal
operator. So he
nicht
knows
bei
that
einem
a
selber
star,
bleiben sollte,
that
sondern dass
the
es woanders ankommen sollte.
that a
Und mit der
signal
Stiftung
doesn't
des
start and
Preisgeldes
end
für
in
den
one place, but it
Hightech-Preis des
also is
bayerischen
connected to
Ministerpräsidenten
others.
sendet
And
Professor Rode genau ein solches
Professor
Signal an
Rode
all jene,
is also
die
giving
sie
exactly
zu
this
diesen
signal
Ideen
to
unserer
us,
Zukunft
to all
verändern
those people who
wollen. So,
have
wer ist der Mann
ideas,
hinter
and
diesem
who is the person
300.000
behind
€
this
höchstgeldeten Preis für
300,000
Ingenieur- und
euros of the
Technikwissenschaft in Deutschland?
highest money
Der Film
prize
stellt ihn
award the film will present him to?
My purpose was to have a highly elevated and highly valued prize for people who put a lot of effort into doing the things they are doing and award them. I believe people are fortunate enough to have the money and can support the research should do this. It's a moral obligation. I think that's the right way to use the money and put in place research which is essential. I would tell them, continue. You've done such a good job. Don't stop. Continue. I would recommend to use areas which are different than the standard and things which have a wide future and are not politically motivated.
Der Hightech-Preis des bayerischen Ministerpräsidenten wird ja
So the
ausgerichtet
High-Tech
vom
Award
Staatsministerium für Wissenschaft
is
und Kunst
given
und
from
von der
the
Bayerischen
State
Akademie
Ministry
der
for
Wissenschaften.
Science
An
and
ihrer
Arts and
Spitze
also
steht
from the
ein Mann, der
Academy
diese
of Science. And
Akademie
at
noch
the
stärker
top, we have a
öffnen
man
möchte und
that
so einen
wants to
Knotenpunkt
open
machen
this
möchte
academy
zwischen Wissenschaft,
even more and make it a
Politik.
contact point for science, politics, and society. And I would like to welcome Professor Markus Schweiger, President of the Bavarian Academy.
Herr Professor Schweiger, wir haben jetzt ja gerade
Mr.
den
Professor Schweiger, we just
Rode ein bisschen
saw
näher
the
gebracht bekommen. Der lebt
Professor
in den USA,
Rode.
darum hat
He
in
lives in
Englisch
the USA,
gesprochen.
that's why he was
Was
talking in
bedeutet Ihnen
English.
diese großzügige
But what does it actually
Initiative
mean for
von
you, this
Professor Rode und was
initiative of
ermöglicht
Mr.
jetzt
Rode, and
dieses
what does it
Preisgeld,
make
diese enorme
possible? What does
Summe,
it
die er Ihnen
make possible
anvertraut hat für
here
die Akademie
with
und
this
Ihnen ganz
with this sum?
Wir sind natürlich Herrn Professor Rode
Well,
sehr dankbar.
we are very thankful to Mr. Professor Rode for what he's doing, that he thought about us and that he gave this fundings to the Bavarian Academy to give us the possibility to kind of bring forward his dream and to make that reality, the dream that we just heard, to just award technicians and engineers and scientists also for their ideas and also the implementation of their ideas in a product that is really positive influence for the society. And I think in the last years or in the last hundreds of years, we had amazing pioneers and scientists that had a lot of innovation and made our society better and changed our society, that we go from Fraunhofer to Adler of Lovelace or also Konrad Röntgenbach. And also in the medicine sector, if I talk about Konrad Röntgen, as one of those pioneers, he started of the whole row of a lot of innovations and findings also in the medical sector with the first radiology. And so now we can see the bodies through 3 dimensions. Thanks to the computers, the next innovation was the imaging without these radiations, so less bad for our health. And now in the last years we also have AI that plays a very big role, that makes it possible also to have all these images that are analyzed by it, so that the doctors have more time to spend with their patients. So I think we can see clearly what these innovations do for our society and for the development and the steps forward into the future. So we are really, really proud with this 300,000 euros to give a signal to also young talents, but also to established researchers to make more and do more and implement more ideas and continue doing exactly what they're doing to further develop our society. Yes, you also talk often, I read a lot of interviews, you talk a lot about excellence, but also about responsibility. So if we look at the excellent science, can this actually exist in times where we have a lot of pressure on science? What do we need for this excellence? Yeah, if we talk about science excellency, it has a lot of components, so that we have intelligent people. We need an intelligent person that uses the chances and possibilities and has also the courage to question things, to answer any questions, to go into risks, and to also know that there is a possibility of a failure, but to restart, but especially to achieve a goal. And I think besides that, there is also an ecosystem that is a very big component for that scientist, for that researcher. And here we need very good base research, but we also need the infrastructure for all of this. And sometimes it is a topic in Germany. We need less bureaucracy to have success in science. And maybe one other point that I would say, especially at this event, we also need money to also have excellent science. And I think in Bavaria we have a lot of privileges that we are supported and funded by our government and the Bavarian government. Especially I want to thank Mr. Blume, our minister, that it was possible to actually have the instruments to do this and to support us and to also make the price even higher. So This is also something that is really needed, and yes, we are privileged that our state, our government is also making this possible. And I think this is not an investment only in Bavaria, but this is an investment for all of Germany and also for Europa. Yeah, and this is one of the very raw materials that we have. But if we look at all of this, what you said, the excellency and research and science, but I have to say also the happiness in the research. So what is for you the winners today? Why are they representing all the values that you said before? What I can actually not think of anyone else than the award-winning Ms. Daniela Rus today. She is leader of the computer science and artificial intelligence laboratory in the MIT in Boston. And she is the leading expert in the sector of robotics and autonomous systems. She's a woman that is characterized to go cross boundaries and to also have networks between different continents and between different disciplines. She's a visionary and she's really innovative, and she is aware of her responsibilities, especially in the sector where she works in, and that's exactly why we chose her. And we are very, very happy, dear Daniela Rus, that you're here today with your husband and that you can celebrate with us and that you are ready to receive this award. And it's also amazing to hear that also through internet we have the possibility to have all your co-workers in Boston that are listening and participating to this event. And again, congratulations, Daniela, welcome to Munich. I also had the possibility today for the podcast to interview Ms. Professor Rus, and I can say that this woman, when she's standing in front of you and she talks about her work, she gets really red cheeks and her eyes start really to have that sparkle. And I saw it, but also my team saw it today, because it was incredible to see how much fun she has in doing her job. But you actually don't know anything about Ms. Professor Rus yet, so I would say we go down and you will just watch a movie now.
When humanity doesn't get further, they build machines to assist them. Some people program these machines, others program the future. Daniela Rus is the architect of a new era of intelligent systems.
Take a deep breath. I'm one of many advancing the field of AI. I am enormously privileged to lead the Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence Lab at MIT, whose mission is to invent the future of computing and make the world better through computing.
Under her leadership, machines are being developed that can learn, adapt, and make their own decisions. Not science fiction, reality.
Today, in the field of computer science, we have two largely separate fields. We have artificial intelligence. We also have robotics. My objective is to bridge the separation, to create AI that understands physics, that is small and compact so that it can run on the body of the robot or your computer or your phone. So my interest is to use inspiration from the natural world to make new classes of AI solutions.
To many, Daniela Rus is the voice of a future where humans and machines work as one. Not only building technology, but shaping how humanity will live with it.
So in our lab, we created an environment where we can instrument people with sensors. And we use all this data to teach robots how to do tasks in a more human-like way. It is so exciting to think about machines with new kinds of capabilities that can empower people with cognitive and physical tasks.
While the world debates AI, Daniela Rus is already building the tools for a better future.
So as we develop physical AI, it is important to think about the body of the machine and the brain of the machine as a tightly integrated system that grows its capabilities only when there is great synergy. In some sense, there is a kind of a symphony between the physical part of the machine and the digital part of the machine.
Daniela Roos erforscht
Daniela
Roboter, die
Roos,
uns
she
Menschen unterstützen
researches robots that can support us as people with our laboratory. Today does the same. Professor Lorenzo Mazia, he also works at the University of Munich. He creates exosuits, so intelligent robotical systems for rehabilitation and movements, and he is also executive director of the Munich Institute of Robotics and Machine Intelligence. So I don't think anyone better to make this laudatio. So thank you. Welcome, Lorenzo Mazia.
Guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren.
Good
Es ist meine
evening,
große
ladies and
Ehre
gentlemen.
und
It
eine
is
besondere Freude, heute die Laudatio
amazing
auf
to be
Professorin
here
Daniela
to
Roos
have the
halten
laudatio
zu
for
dürfen.
Professor
Mit
Ms.
Ihrer
Daniela
Erlaubnis
Roos.
werde ich die Laudatio
And
auf Englisch
I
halten,
would love to have this laudatio in English so that Ms. Roos can listen to me directly.
Dear Minister President Söder, dear State Minister Blume, dear Professor Schweiger, President of the Bavarian Academy of Science and Humanities, dear President Hoffmann, President of the Technical University of Munich, dear Professor Roos, dear Daniela, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great privilege to deliver the laudatory speech for Professor Daniela Roos, recipient of the High-Tech Award of the Bavarian Minister President. Having had the privilege of nominating her, now I have the honor and the duty of explaining why this distinction is so fitting. A pioneer does more than solve an important problem. A pioneer changed the question that a field and an entire scientific community dared to ask. Daniela Roos has done this repeatedly. She has asked how machines can cooperate rather than merely act alone, how their bodies can adapt rather than remain fixed, and how artificial intelligence can become not only more capable, but also more efficient, understandable, and worthy of our trust. For me, this occasion has also a personal dimension. In 2005 and 2006, I spent 2 formative years at MIT. Professor Roos had joined the MIT faculty shortly before. I was a young researcher, and although our paths were not yet closely connected, her work already stood out to me for its unusual combination of technical depth, imagination, and clear sense of purpose. Over the years, that early impression developed into professional, unconditional respect. It is therefore a special honor to stand here today. The central theme of Professor Roos' career is the science and engineering of autonomy, creating machines that can perceive, decide, learn, and act in the physical world while remaining useful and safe for people. Her first major contribution was to change the way we think about a robot. A robot need not to be a single fixed machine. It can be a collective entity. In distributed robotics, Professor Roos developed foundational method by which teams of robots coordinate through local sensing, communication, and control. Her work gave groups of machine mathematical principles for spreading through an environment, gathering information, and responding to change. Professor Roos then helped transform another assumption, that not only rigid robotics can be efficient and useful. Her work was decisive in establishing the term soft robotics as a major scientific discipline nowadays. The landmark 2015 Nature article, Design, Fabrication, and Control of Soft Robots, written by Michael Tolley, provided a framework for designing machines from compliant and deformable materials. This change of material changed the relationship between robots and the world. A soft robot can bend around an obstacle, handle a delicate object, and interact more safely with the human body. Professor Roos' laboratory demonstrated this vision through a system of remarkable originality. Self-folding and origami robots, soft manipulator, and Sophie, the untethered soft robotic fish that swam along coral reef, acoustically guided by a diver, recording marine life with a soft biomimetic presence. Her science meets the highest international standard. Across this project lies one of Daniela's deepest insights. Intelligence does not only reside in software, it also resides in form, material, compliance, and interaction between body and control, mimicking the unmatched intelligence of Mother Nature. Through the Toyota CISEO Joint Lab Center, she has connected fundamental AI research with the practical challenge of intelligence vehicle. Through Liquid AI, which she co-founded with colleagues from MIT, research on efficient and transversal neural networks architecture is being translated into technology for real-world use. Across transportation, manufacturing, environmental monitoring, healthcare, assistive systems, her work demonstrates that scientific originality and practical impact can reinforce one another. Daniela Roos is also an institution builder and a builder of research community. She has opened new fields, connected discipline, and created an environment in which ambitious ideas can become shared scientific programs. Her many distinctions, including election to the United States National Academy of Engineering and National Academy of Science, a MacArthur Fellowship, and an IEEE Edison Medal, are too numerous to list in full tonight. Yet the clearest measure of her leadership in her community of researchers, students, and innovators, whom she has enabled to think and work more boldly worldwide. This ability to build community also bring me to our own connection with Daniela. As Executive Director of the Munich Institute of Robotics and Machine Intelligence, I'm especially grateful that she has helped turn the relationship between MIT, CSIL, and the Munich Institute of Robotics and Machine Intelligence at UM into a strategic long-term partnership. A decisive starting point was the joint visit to MIT in 2022 with the State Minister Markus Blume, TUM President Hoffmann, and the former director of the Munich Institute for Robotics and Machine Intelligence. Professor Roos personally and persistently advanced the idea that MIT and the Technical University of Munich should not simply cooperate on individual projects, but should create a lasting transatlantic community for the major question of artificial intelligence and robotics. Since few months, the TUM MIT collaboration has been officially signed by Professor Roos and me and our respective university presidents, and today it brings that idea to life. It combines cutting-edge research with joint doctoral training, research tandem, mentoring, and reciprocal research stays. Professor Roos was particularly clear that the next generation must be at the center, the fulcrum along MIT and TUM. Junior professor, principal investigator, and doctoral researchers should receive the freedom, guidance, and international network needed to shape the future of the field and becoming part of the intelligentsia of our countries. We are deeply grateful to Bavarian and the Bavarian State Ministry of Science and Arts, and to Minister Blume, for supporting this special model in its current first phase. It does more than fund research projects. It builds durable scientific relationship between Munich and Boston and strengthen a transatlantic network that can grow well beyond the present facts. Professor Roos' commitments to this alliance is therefore another expression of her leadership. She does not only produce excellent science, she creates the institution and communities in which future science can flourish. What has remained consistent through Professor Roos' career across the new research fields and the institution and many international communities is her vision of technology. She's ambition without losing sight of humanity. She does not present robots as replacement for people, but as tools that can extend human capacity, protect life, and help us care for our environment. To reconnect to my first and initial statement, great sciences give us new results. But great pioneers give us new questions, new paths in imagination of what is possible, and above all, produce concrete, impactful answers. Daniela Rus has given us this. Daniela, tonight Bavaria honors your groundbreaking science, your ability to carry ideas into practice, your leadership, and your profoundly human vision of autonomy. On behalf of all of us, I offer my warmest congratulations on receiving the 2026 Bavarian High-Tech Award. Congratulations.
Vielen herzlichen Dank, Professor Masia.
Thank you very much, Professor Masia, for this inspiring laudatory speech. And ladies and gentlemen, the High-Tech Award of the Bavarian Minister President would not be that if the Bavarian Minister President wouldn't be here. So let's welcome Dr. Markus Söder.
Meine sehr verehrten Damen und Herren, einen schönen
Ladies and gentlemen,
zum zweiten Mal
good evening. For the second time, we have this second time awarding that is actually a very big event, and that is actually what we do here in Bavaria. And the second event is actually for me very special because last year I couldn't be here because I was in Berlin at a very important appointments, and almost it happened again that I couldn't be here because there are a lot of decisions made in Berlin. But today I wanted to be here because this is an amazing awarding, and this awarding is not only a personal awarding for the award receiver, but it is also a sign, a statement for the research and science location here in Bavaria. And I have to say we are very ambitious, and we also want to be it in the future because science and research has priority in Bavaria.
And
this has always kind of been the way, especially with the DNA of Bavaria. And till today, it's always been the same. Bavaria has in Germany a very big role. We didn't receive kings and queens and also not chancellors, because it didn't always work that way, but we always focus on other things. So we don't have the central political strength. We also weren't the central point for a military, but we were also the base for science, research, and art. So we had always a possibility to give offers of the most intelligent and most creative people. And so come to Bavaria, we give you the possibility and the foundation to do steps forward. And today it is a very hard economical reality for the economy in Germany as well, because the competitors in the world will not focus on the cheapest working conditions, and we focus on raw materials. We don't have that much, but what we can bring in our country is innovation, and this is exactly what we can be competitive with China and other countries in the world. So for us in Bavaria, this is very, very important. Dear Markus Blume, you as the Minister for Research and Science, you are the main person for that. We worked together for many years, and that was also my first impulse to create a high-tech agenda and to also do it like Strauss, but to have a factor 5 higher financially. And at the time I was criticized, I was laughed at. They said we should focus more on medicine, on AI, on DNA research. When I said all of this, people were just laughing at me. In 2018, where it was told to me I only focus on AI because that's what it should be, and I'm missing out on natural intelligence. And also when I focus on the plane area, so the flying area, and when I was saying all these kind of things, people were just laughing at me and saying that I was crazy. And also in the medicine sector, people told me I'm a hypochondriac, and that's why I am interested in that sector. So these were how people were just looking at me when I was talking about that. But we started with 6 million euros, and now we actually have double of that, and we are investing and investing and investing, and we can see the success step by step. And the Bavarian University are the two best in the European Union. Other universities in Bavaria, like in Erlangen and Würzburg, and especially in the medical sector, are also in the top levels. And with this, we are offering also the Max Planck Gesellschaft, so the Society Max Planck, that is known in the whole world and has, of course, its seat in Bavaria, next to the state chancellery in Munich. And this combination of research and science and university, that brings success, because with AI and artificial intelligence will bring us forward. We know that there are ethical questions, but to not be part of this doesn't mean that we're actually not being part of it. So that's why we are focusing on it. The most robotic studies are in Bavaria. We have big projects. We have AI sectors studies in Bavaria, and every time I'm fascinated to see what the high-speed computers compare to a quantum computer, what we are doing to get there, the dimensions that we have, the speed that we have, you can't even really realize it. And you can't even see the possibilities that we have behind all of this. And to have the possibility here to guide it, to lead it, and to be part of this giant process is really something that we're proud of. And the same is for the aerospatial sector. And this was actually also a childhood dream when I was in Houston at the NASA, exactly in that control room that you can see from every good film. And there was written on this monitor, welcome to, they don't call it with the Minister President, but they said, welcome, Mr. President. But then we just took it as it was, but it was fascinating to see a few days before the Artemis mission, and that's where it's coordinated in Houston. And when you can see that the global control, we have Houston, we have one control sector in Australia, and then we have a digital window, and that's the third. So we have Houston, hello to Pfaffenhofen. And that's not really known by every American, but let's say Bavaria. So what we could say is with all these processes that are globally led, technology, from the technological point of view, we are part of it. And also in the medical sector, a few days ago with the science minister, we also have $500,000 euros that we are funding for the Center of Biochemicals and a biocenter that where we hope we will find future Nobel Prize award winners, and we are being better, we're being more transparent, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. And we also, of course, want to earn something of this. I also actually come from Nürnberg, and in Erlangen every year we have kind of a happy anniversary, and then we also have this day where we kind of celebrate, and today we're not celebrating because we managed to make money out of it, but then also the Americans took money, so that's why we say partying and not partying. But yeah, all these initiatives that we're doing, they actually have success. I also am reading a lot of statistics, and also you can see from these statistics that we're winning a lot of rounds, and the goal is really clear also in technological dominance in the world to be part of these companies. And if we do a comparison And I also try to explain to them that are skepticals, so to understand what is happening. We actually have half of the values like BAdW. So this shows exactly the changes that we're having, the shifts that we're having in our economics. And we also think that research should be a free research. And I also don't think, or we don't think, that authoritarian systems will just limit research. And research today is horizontal. It is a team-oriented, working together. It's based on communication. So that's why we want everyone to be part of this world and to communicate in this world. So that's why we are research-minded. And we will continue on this path, even if the money maybe is less. We have to continue investing and giving money in this sector. And I would actually hope that Germany also does a little bit more in this sector. And I would just suggest to all the researchers, don't wait on other countries, don't wait on Germany, just come to Bavaria, because here is the future. Yeah, for this, of course, we need amazing personalities, and there is always the question of who actually influenced the history. Was it the things or the people? There is always a fight between the historians. And my thesis is kind of together. So, of course, what happens plays a role, but also the single people that make changes in history, and these single people have to be thanked, have to be talked about and have to be kept in mind. So I want you to never give up on the work that you're doing. And some people maybe could just think that you're doing something that other people cannot. And Professor Daniela Roos, I just want to conclude, is one of those people, people that makes change and a person that we are awarding. And this is perfect. Today to be here and to be able to award you for everything that you have done and that you are doing in the autonomous systems and the robotics sector. And the robotics sector is one of the most fascinating sectors. And also there, what is exciting in many science fiction films, and that's why science fiction is not that bad to all the critics. There are many things that are thought about that then become reality, and there are no experts in ESA and NASA that is not a science fiction fan. And I found this out when I was talking to them about science fiction. And I think robotics is the next big step, and we have to be successful in the robotics sector, because our friends and partners and in China already are telling us everything that is thinkable. And if you think about something that's just in the future, that's far away in the future, you cannot even imagine everything that already exists out there. Maybe there is not just a dog that is just making a few steps. I was at a conference once, and there was Boston Dynamic, and I cannot even imagine someone that was not surprised to see what was happening with these robotics choreographies and how these robots could just move and what they could do. But yeah, we also have potential. I can still do a lot. But we can also implement the robotics in so many sectors that we cannot even think about that. But they are actually positive also in the economic sector. And Ms. Roos does that. She is pioneer in the self-organized robotic collectives. That sounds for a researcher pretty obvious, but for a normal person, not the minister, but for me, this is a challenge to understand all of this. How can different robots, so modular robotics, work together without a person kind of taking the lead on that? We also have soft robotics, for example, very important in the medicine sector. So these are robots that you can swallow, and then they actually kind of in your stomach. So they unfold in your stomach. And to see what we could have in 10 or 15 years future, it's amazing. And there was also a professor at the LMU that said in 10 or 15 years, and then medicine will be, it will be incredible. So that's why we should continue doing what we're doing. So 10 to 15 years, and then there are no worries anymore. Well, we're working on that. But yeah, autonomous mobility, also in the robotic, but also social psychology, to put that into the robotics, that these are areas where putting also this human aspects is amazing to see. Also AI that is inspired by people brain, for example, to observe pilots and these kind of things. I'm so fascinated with this. I cannot even say how fascinated I am. And I also saw an example of a company here. They created bioneural chips where people that have a heart attack, that are not able to move anymore, that you can see their thoughts, and these thoughts are being projected on a wall by AI, so you don't have the feeling that you're talking to someone that is just sitting there and cannot move, but they are actually, they can talk and speak normally through this AI. They're also touch sensors, and that can be used so that the person that can actually not feel anything anymore can feel again, but also the possibility to, for example, read dreams. So, yeah. All these areas and sectors are not something for the future. They are actual. They are here, and maybe you could believe me if sometimes it is really difficult for us to understand or to explain the media, to the media, how important this work is and how far we are actually already. Also in the political sector, for example, in my world, sometimes I have this feeling that in the personal aspects, we're going so much further. And many people also fall back, though. So the shaman's songs get louder and louder as soon as your souls can also hear them. And that's why it's also important to see the people that are trying to bring further this innovation and to also bring our society and our also the economic part of our company further and further in the future. We don't know where we will be in 10 or 15 years and how we will, for example, earn money. But if we don't manage to keep up this possibility to earn money, then we're just giving in to radical strength in the country, and that is bad for the freedom of the person and for the society itself.
Also kurz zusammengefasst, und
so just to summarize, I think also in this venue we can see that in Bavaria we focus on Lederhose and a laptop. I don't have one on right now, but we focus on innovation and identity. So identity is tradition, history, and also a certain Bavarian image that also many like. With the football, it's a bit different when you lose against Bavaria, but innovation is, so to say, the dominant constant in our region, and this is why this high-tech award is not a single topic for the ministry, but it is a central thing for the government in Bavaria, and so I am also supported from all my colleagues, and I am really, really happy to give this amazing award to an amazing researcher and scientists, and good luck for everything, and continue doing what you're doing. Congratulations again.
Now the moment has come to welcome Daniela Rus on stage. Mr. Blume, Mr. Schweiger, please escort the lady.
I'm so honored. I accept this with humility and responsibility. And thank you for supporting science. very special. Thank you. Guten Abend, good evening, Minister President Söder, Minister Blume, Professor Schweiger, Professor Masi, Lorenzo, colleagues and friends, thank you. I'm deeply honored to receive the High-Tech Award of the Bavarian Minister President and to receive it here in the Munich Residenz, a place shaped by centuries of history on an evening devoted to the future. Now, this combination feels distinctly Bavarian, tradition and invention strengthening one another. It is also how I believe artificial intelligence and robotics should be built, with memory and with care. Now, we are living at an extraordinary point in time. AI and robotics are giving us new powers to discover patterns too complex for us to see, to design and build at unprecedented speed, and to turn ideas that once belonged to imagination into physical reality. And this is what I call physical AI, artificial intelligence that is not sealed inside a screen, but embodied in a system that can sense, move, learn, adapt, and act in the physical world. Now, physical AI connects computation with materials, machines, people, and purpose. Its highest goal is not to replace human capability, but to extend it. Now, my own path to this room began far away from here. I grew up in Romania under the Ceausescu dictatorship. I received an excellent education, but daily life was constrained. Food and heat were rationed. Travel was forbidden, and the secret police watched us closely. As a high school student, I spent 1 week each month working in a factory. I learned to use a lathe. I made screws from scratch, one after the other. I did not know it then, but that factory taught me a lesson that would shape my career. The physical world matters. Materials matter. An idea becomes transformative when it can touch the world. Even in that constrained world, I had expansive dreams. Very little television reached us from outside, but one American show did, Lost in Space. It had a family traveling through the universe, and it had a robot. That robot captured my imagination. And I began to dream of machines that would not replace people, but help them, extending human capability, creativity, traveling through the universe. Now, I also imagined technologies for very practical reasons. In school, I had to go to a gym across a river, and the bridge was very far away. That route home felt unnecessarily long, and I used to imagine that one day I could simply grow a bridge across the water whenever I needed it. At that time, it was a child's fantasy, but today it is becoming an engineering possibility. After my family left Romania, I studied computer science, mathematics, and astronomy at the University of Iowa. And later, I joined John Hopcroft's group at Cornell. He challenged me to build a robot that could make and bring him coffee. I could not solve that problem, although my students did more recently. But in trying, I found the problem of my life: how to connect computation with a physical world of materials, of motion, and of people. So here's the essential idea. A robot is not just a body, and it is not just the brain. It is a body and the brain together. The body determines what actions are physically possible, and the brain determines what can be perceived, learned, and controlled. The world supplies uncertainty, opportunity, and change. Intelligence emerges from the continuous interaction among all three: body, brain, and world. And that is the heart of physical AI. This is the quest to understand what intelligence is and learn how to build it into machines that can work alongside us. So over the years, my students, collaborators, and I have worked to reinvent both sides of the machine, First, the body. We asked, must the robot be made of rigid metal? Must it look like a person? Nature builds bodies that bend, stretch, grow, heal, and adapt, and machines can draw inspiration from those principles. We built ingestible origami robots that can travel through the body to retrieve the button batteries children sometimes swallow. We built soft robotic fish that swim among real fish without disturbing them. We built machines from silicon, paper, and even food. And we built robotic boats. This month, our team published a paper describing FloatForm, small autonomous boats that sense, navigate, coordinate, physically connect, and self-organize into larger structures. The application is exciting, but beneath it lies a deeper scientific question. How can many independent machines, each with only local sensing and limited information, coordinate their actions and become a coherent whole? Nature solves versions of this problem everywhere. Cells organize into tissue. Fish form schools, birds form flocks, social insects build structures far beyond the capabilities of one single individual. The scientific challenge is to identify the principles and mathematics of the self-organization and translate them into engineering systems. The childhood wish to grow a bridge has become a scientific investigation into how machines can organize themselves. And today, they can indeed grow that bridge I dreamed of as a kid. Now, for me, this is one of the deepest joys of science and engineering. We can take a need or a dream from childhood and through mathematics, experimentation, and teamwork, give it form in the world. But new bodies are not enough. The other frontier is the brain. Today's most powerful AI models are marvels, but many are also enormous, energy-intensive, and difficult to understand. That may be manageable for digital applications, but it is not enough for a robot, a car, a medical device, a drone, or a satellite that must act safely, locally, and in real time. So we asked a different question. Does intelligence in the digital world have to be huge? Nature says no. There is a tiny worm called C. elegans that navigates the world, finds food, and avoids danger with only 302 neurons. Not billions, 302. That humble worm inspired one of the most exciting journeys of my career. Together with my students and collaborators, Ramin Hassani, Matthias Lechner, Alexandra Armini, and Radu Grosu, we studied the mathematics of biological neurons and developed a new kind of AI model we called liquid neural networks. Now, most neural networks learn a fixed set of parameters and are then largely frozen. Liquid networks are built from systems of differential equations. Their internal state continually evolves as new information arises. They do not simply map an input to an output. They model a process unfolding through time. And this matters because nature never stands still. Lighting changes, weather changes, roads change, people behave unpredictably. A useful, intelligent system must respond not only to what it has seen before, but to how the situation is changing now. The results still amaze me. We taught a car to steer down a road using a network with just 19 computational neurons, a task that conventionally uses models with millions of parameters. And so this points to a different future for AI. Alongside giant models in the cloud, we can build intelligence that is compact, efficient, and close to people, running directly on the robot, the car, the medical device, the phone, or the scientific instrument. And so I believe the next measure of AI progress will not be how large is the model. It will also be how much intelligence per watt. Can it run locally? Can it adapt safely? Can its decisions be understood? Can it be trusted with human lives? To carry these ideas from the laboratory into the world, my students, postdocs, and I founded a company, and we named it after the science, Liquid AI. But AI is not only helping us build new forms of intelligence, AI is also helping us understand intelligence that already exists around us. In my project SETI, AI has become a new scientific instrument, a microscope for patterns, helping us see structure in sperm whale communications that was previously invisible. By analyzing thousands of sperm whale codas in their social context, our team discovered what we call a sperm whale phonetic alphabet. We have not translated their language yet, and we should be humble about what remains unknown. But AI has allowed us to perceive structure, context, combinatorial possibility, and to do so that was not possible before. And perhaps one day these tools will help one intelligent species listen deeply enough to another and begin meaningful two-way communication. This possibility fills me with wonder and deepens our responsibility to use technology not only to master the world, but to understand it and care for it. Now, tonight, this award feels deeply personal because Bavaria is not simply a place where I receive an honor. It is a place where three circles of my life come together. The first circle is family. My family connection to Germany reaches back many years. My father's visiting faculty position at Saarland University was an early scientific bridge between our family and Germany. Later, part of my family made this region their home. Anka Grossu, who I have always thought of as a sister, began her career here in Munich and became a world-renowned leader in radiation oncology. Her work cures disease and saves lives. It reminds me that science is not abstract, it is healing, it is care, it is in service of people at moments of greatest vulnerability. And her son Sergio, who's here with us today, my nephew, is now following in her footsteps as an attending physician here in Munich. The second circle is science, though in my life, family and science have often intertwined. Radu Grossu, Anka's husband, is one of my oldest friends. We grew up together, and over the years, he became one of my closest scientific collaborators. Our work together helped begin the liquid neural network journey, and an important chapter of his career began here in Munich at TUM. Now, Munich later became the setting for another scientific connection, and Lorenzo already mentioned this. Last year, building on an idea that had become 4 years earlier, we launched the MIT CSAIL Bavaria Research Program, connecting professors at MIT CSAIL and TUM in artificial intelligence, robotics, and human-centered technology. And this partnership connects institutions and values. A belief that AI should be technically excellent, socially grounded, and directed toward challenges too important for one laboratory, one company, or one country alone to solve. The third circle is entrepreneurship. We are working to establish a liquid AI presence in Munich so that the ideas born from that little worm can grow close to Bavaria's extraordinary scientific and industrial ecosystem. So family, research, enterprise, three circles meeting right here in Bavaria. For me, they point to the same conviction. Science crosses borders. It carries memory forward. It can turn displacement into contribution, contribution into community, and community into hope. Now, tonight, we also celebrate early career researchers. People often ask whether I have a favorite robot. And I smile when they do this, because that is like asking whether I have a favorite child. But the truth is that the creations I'm proudest of are not made of metal circuits or code. They are my students and postdocs. They are the young researchers who ask bold questions, who work through failure and imagine machines that can help the world. They remind me every day that the greatest investment we can make is in human talent. To the young researchers honored tonight, you're not only the future of science, you are already shaping it. The questions you ask, the courage you bring, and the communities you build will help determine what technology becomes. We should marvel at this moment, but wonder must not become complacently. The more capable our tools become, the greater our responsibility in directing them. So the question is not only what can AI do? The deeper questions are, what should AI do? For whom? Under whose control? And toward what kind of society? We must ensure that AI helps people flourish, protects our planet, expands knowledge, and cares for the vulnerable, and empowers the next generation. This award strengthens my commitment to this mission. So tonight, I accept this award with great gratitude. Gratitude to the Minister President and to Professor Ulrich Rode for creating the award. Gratitude to the Bavarian scientific community for this extraordinary honor. Gratitude to the committee for selecting me. To Professor Masi for his nomination and the kind words. To my students, collaborators, colleagues, mentors, family and friends on both sides of the Atlantic who made this journey possible. And especially to my husband Jay, whose love, encouragement, and partnership have sustained me throughout it. And I accept this award with hope. Hope that we will use this extraordinary moment in time not simply to build more powerful machines, but to become more imaginative builders, more attentive listeners, and more responsible stewards of the future. A future in which a child can dream of growing a bridge and one day build it. A future in which we can listen across the boundaries of species. A future that is more creative, more humane, more sustainable, and just. And a future we will build together here in Bavaria, in Germany, at MIT, and around the world. Vielen herzlichen Dank. Thank you very much.
Dear Daniela, it was such a great pleasure to listen to you, and I'm so glad we had an hour of talking this morning. And there was one thing I kept on my mind. This was this little origami robot you've created, that children can swallow the little robot just in case they have swallowed another battery or something like that.
Actually, a lot of kids swallow button batteries. You'll
I wasn't
be
aware of
surprised
this
because
fact.
they are in toys and they like to put the toys in their hand.
And then they swallow the battery. So, and you've told me that the little origami robot is made out of sausage skin.
Yep, sausage casing, yes.
Yes, so I thought this would be an extraordinary thing to develop in Bavaria because we have the famous white sausage.
And we love the sausages in Bavaria, yes.
So I thought this could be the first thing, Daniela Ruh's edition for a Bavarian robot for the kids. That was a great idea, but actually I wanted to ask, will this award bring more of Daniela Ruh's to Bavaria? You've already mentioned the office you're going to open here, but will you be here for lectures? Can we get in line for waiting that we listen to you?
Absolutely, please invite me more.
Great. Ihre Aufgabe ist klar. And I was so happy that you've just addressed the young scientists. They were listening to you, and it's so great to have a female role model in science and when it comes to the MIT, the MINT-Fächers. So thank you very much. They were really listening to you, and I could see them smile. So thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stay here. We're now going to take, jetzt kommt es zum Äußersten, we're now going to take a big group photo. So I invite everybody on stage who got an award, who was nominated, of course, Ministerpräsident Söder, of course, State Minister Markus Blume, Professor Schweiger, bitte kommen Sie zu uns. And I think your husband would be great on the photo as well, don't you think so? He is a big collaborator. And all the nominees, please come on stage. Yes, you too, of course, you were on the short list. Come on, you deserve a prize. Ready? Okay, liebe Festgemeinde, dann darf ich Sie jetzt alle zum Staatsempfang bitten.
Dear guests, I would now ask you to go to the outside to eat together and drink together, and if you want to see the pictures, you can see all the pictures tomorrow on our page, and I wish you an amazing evening, so please just go out and enjoy your evening, and let's applaud one last time our researchers on stage, and see you next year.